all the sectors are booming. Wow. Especially, I can give you about 10 key sectors, but sectors that are underlying with digitization.
Okay.
It can be in the food chain. Now we don't sell food, we sell health. Yes. It can be in the food chain, but the food chain must move with technology. It can be in agriculture, but agriculture must move with technology.
Amazing.
It can be in the fashion industry. Look, I have a couple of friends who don't even know how to build a sewing machine, but they are fashion icons in the country. They are selling the best of clothes, African wear, because they interface with those who sew. They get the products and they are using technology to sell across the globe.
Amazing.
So now, whichever sector you are in, just make sure that technology will be an underlying thing with your business. If you're going to go the traditional way of running your business, you'll still be in the dark.
Interesting.
So that is what is making the game changer. That is what's making the difference.
All right. In this edition, we are going to be having an amazing discussion on entrepreneurship. And the guest that I'm bringing to you today is going to blow your mind away because of where he sits. He sees everything entrepreneurship. As far as Ghana is concerned, actually by extension Africa, because of his extensive experience across the board. He's Mr. Franklin Kakari, Director of Business Support at Ghana's flagship entrepreneurship program. Is called the NEIP, which is National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Program. And it's an amazing entrepreneurial intervention program that the government of Ghana instituted. And frankly, I would say Mr. Franklin is the one who is actually getting the engines rolling on this initiative of the government. I know he's going to come in a little bit humble, but he's the main man. He's the main man. So, Franklin, you are most welcome. You are most welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. Awesome. So, I just gave a best high view of who you are and what you do. So, we are going to be talking, about entrepreneurship as you see it in Ghana. So, I will leave it to you. Would you want to share a little bit about where you started from and where you have ended? You started from somewhere, and I know you are a serial entrepreneur yourself. So, just share a little bit about your journey between where you were and where you are right now. I think it should be fascinating.
Yes, I think it's been thank you very much, and thank you for your audience also having me today on the show. It's been a fascinating journey, ups and downs. I have never applied for a job in my life since I left school. Yes, because at level 200 in the university, I discovered myself. So I wanted to become a chartered accountant, work with these international accounting firms. And level 200, I read a couple of books that changed my perception and my thinking. And when I discovered myself, I said, no, let me pursue my entrepreneurship journey. So right from campus, I started running my businesses from campus. Life was tough because, parents, there was no money at home. So you need to survive.
Yes.
I started writing small books for the high schools in Cape Coast. So I write and I go to the secondary schools and I sell to them. I make some coins, and that was keeping us alive, And so on campus, we formed our first company known as Achievers Mind. Achievers Mind.
What did that do?
And we were organizing all the campus events.
I see.
We were the first to organize a stand-up comedy with KSM.
Wow.
At the university campus, yes. A stand-up comedy. And we brought him again for the whole Fetu Afashe Cape Coast at the Cape Coast Center for National Culture to join the Fetu Afashe to do a stand-up comedy. And this is how we were making our money on campus. After school, through national service, then we started my company, Ashomi Magazine. My first business plan competition I won was about 20,000 cedis around 2009.
That was a lot of money at that time.
Yes, at that time. So we set up, And the plan was to teach the Swami Magazine people how to use IT to detect the fault of vehicles. We call it auto diagnostics. So we're first to bring that kind of thing to the mechanics all the way in 2009 at Swami Magazine. The business was booming, young people, very vibrant, and we introduced something. We started selling computers because most of them require computers for them to use, and teaching them how to use the computers.
Wow.
But that business model we added killed our dream. We imported full container load of laptops and desktop computers. People were buying on credit, they were not paying, and that led to the collapse of our business.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's been a long journey. Journey.
So you're not just somebody who's like a typical civil servant, that kind of.
No.
You've really lived that life,
I've gone through the mill. And when I started my consulting firm, I was hanging my laptop around my neck and moving to KJTR to prepare books. Now I brought my accounting back to start working with it, preparing the books for small businesses and micro businesses. And I was charging each client 100 cedis per month.
Oh, that's a good business idea.
Yes, and for the first 2 months, I was having about almost 8 to 10 clients. Within 2 years, I hold over 100 clients.
That is a good business idea.
For this over 100 clients, each person was paying me 100 cedis. And that was a lot of money. So then I got my first office. So when I see the young people thinking that there's nothing to be done, there's a lot of opportunities.
Yeah, that's actually one of the things I want us to explore. So then you eventually found yourself at NEIP.
Yes.
Which is would you be able to share a little bit about what NEIP is about and what your experience has been so far with NEIP?
All right. So building my businesses over there, I got the interest in helping academic institutions and government agencies to begin to draw down proper policies and shaping up the entrepreneurship space for young people like myself to be able to have the growing curve a bit easier. Okay. So through that, and I was the government discovered me. I came into NEIP, and my vision for NEIP is to see a strong, well-structured Ghanaian entrepreneurship ecosystem. Anytime I sleep and I wake up, that is what I want to see, where all the various interconnecting bodies, the various building blocks that evolve itself around entrepreneurship work together. So NEIP, as you said already, is a flagship policy initiative of government. And government want to position NEIP as an enabler in the ecosystem to lead the job creation agenda through entrepreneurship. So our focus is to help the young people begin to get the concept of entrepreneurship, begin to have the vibe, the spirit to work, create the enabling environment for them, give them the access to market, give them access to funding, and they can be able to stand on their own. So this is what NEIP does, and that's what my role to help the team here to be able to build it up.
Wow, that is a very phenomenal initiative. And so far, what has been the successes of the program?
It's been great. Okay, it's been amazing. Now, NEIP has been able to get the whole country talking entrepreneurship. Wow. Even the banks are creating entrepreneurship hubs. Now we work with about 80 private incubation hubs across the country. And within the last 4 years, we've trained close to over 85,000 businesses across the country. Across the country. 85,000. Yes, over 85,000 businesses across the country. And if you look at those that we gave funding to, they alone have been able to create over 92,000 jobs, those that we give funding to. Not all the 85,000 got funded. Some got technical support, some got training, some got business advisory services. But those who receive funding, when we check with them within that space of time, they have added on jobs. The new jobs they have created through the collaboration with them is over 90,000 jobs. And this is what government is looking at. And we intend to do more. Now, government has an agenda of creating 1 million jobs in Ghana. So NEIP will have a role to play in ensuring that these 1 million jobs are created.
That is awesome. That's awesome, Franklin. You've done a yeoman's job. You and your team. So my first question would be, judging from your background, where you sit, you probably sit at the top of the tree when it comes to entrepreneurship. You probably have seen it all when it comes to businesses in the startup phases or younger entrepreneurs. In your mind, and from what you see, what are some of the mistakes that you see in young entrepreneurs? Actually, any young entrepreneur doesn't necessarily mean they are young in age.
Yeah.
Is they are young in the journey through entrepreneurship. Yeah. What are some of the mistakes or some of the pitfalls you are identifying as like patterns that you are seeing from where you sit?
Okay. In interacting with a number of entrepreneurs and also myself going through the mill, I've realized that there are certain key challenges which I will enumerate. One is that entrepreneurs. Okay. The necessity entrepreneurs are those who, as of now, they finish school or they finish some skills training, but they don't have anything to do. They don't have a job. So
right.
They are looking
those are the necessity entrepreneurs.
They're just going to see they can, survivor.
Okay.
Yes, they want to see they can get something to survive. So with them, they don't have a full focus on it. So those people easily are distracted. They get distracted easily. So they are not able to see the business grow to the limit that they want to go. So whilst he's on the job trying to build the idea, he moves around looking for a job. He hears about this one. He moves in there. When he goes, it doesn't work. He comes back to the idea. And that is a peculiar challenge with most young people. So the lack of concentration on developing the idea has become really, really critical, and it doesn't help them to be able to grow the business the way it is. But those who look at the opportunity entrepreneurs, they see that there's an opportunity in the country. This is where I want to be. So for them, they have the concentration.
So
some of them, they are challenges.
So basically,
the idea, but how to.
Oh, I was just going to gather my thoughts that right now. So I'm identifying two main blocks. One is the necessity entrepreneurs, and these are the ones who are like they hop from one opportunity to another. And then we have the opportunity entrepreneurs who are the ones who spot a gap in the market and want to focus.
And feel it.
Okay. All right. So you can continue.
All right. So with all these two, whilst the opportunity entrepreneurs may be concentrating, sometimes they lack managerial expertise. Okay. They have the idea, they're able to bring out the idea, they start running something, but how to be able to build the proper business structures for those. So it's something that through the interaction with most of them and from my own journey, I have discovered that it's a critical challenge for them. Number two is human capital. Okay. In the process of identifying, most of them, sometimes you ask them, they'll be thinking it's money, but when you don't have the right people to work with you, it be growth. So a number of them start very well, but they are not able to hire the right expertise because, first of all, they may not have enough capital to be able to hire the right people. Yes. Some of them, yes, because at that early stage, I remember very well when one of my companies, I went to the Food and Drugs Authority. They said I have to hire somebody, quality assurance officer.
Okay.
So I searched for one and I asked him, "U.S. quality assurance officer, how much
do you take?
An expert, how much do you take in coming to my business to ensure the quality and the standard of my product. He said, oh, my minimum I'll take is 3,000 a month. Me, I've never paid myself in a job before. How do I pay somebody 3,000?
Yes, when you are just starting.
So because I can't afford, I have to do it. Yes, I have to do it for business. Businesses of the inadequate capital. There's also the right financing scheme. People sometimes, because the banks are not offering, some of them go to microfinances to borrow.
And they gouge them.
And that is a killer loan.
It's a killer loan. That's a killer loan.
Because close to 120% interest, and that will definitely let not your business survive.
Yes.
Then another challenge they face, and most of the early stage business, regulatory requirements.
Okay.
Yeah, the regulatory requirements sometimes can be really cumbersome.
Like you went through with the FDA.
Yes. The FDA, the standard authority. Even previously, it took just some few years back, it takes close to from 2013, 2014, it will take you over 81 days to get your business registered in Ghana.
That was not good.
Okay. Today you can do it within a week or two. And we are happy for the enabling environment that is coming with it. Then tax issues, these are all regulatory. Once you start and you want to formalize your business,
yes,
you need to be able to register with the GRA. You need to sometimes those who are in charge of the environment. Ghana Environmental, the EPA, Environmental Protection Agency, and what you have to go through to even get their certification.
Wow.
It demoralizes a number of
most people.
Requirements. So regulatory requirements are really key. So it's one of the areas NEIP is trying to tackle to make it friendly. And to make it less costly also for early stage businesses in the country. So if you watch from 2018, we fought for the tax holiday. That as part of the tax amendment, entrepreneurs who are between the ages of 18 to 35. This is to be able to give them some breathing space for them to grow and be able to ensure. And we have also spoken with FDA. Now they have categorized they have tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 of their application. And tier 1 can easily be gotten, even if you are preparing your food from your own kitchen.
I see.
And so they give labels. There's a yellow label, a pink label, and a green label. When you get the green label, it means that now you are a fully certified organization. This is to make sure that to create some room for somebody doing, let's say, plantain chips.
Right.
You have to get a certification. The person probably may be doing it in the kitchen. With the normal requirements from your own kitchen becomes a bit difficult to get the full certification.
Right.
But with the new pink label and the yellow label, they able to environmental problem. This and many inadequate power, inadequate infrastructure, a number of all these things hamper business growth.
That is
been to certain countries where they create what we call a common production system. So there's a place after you produce your juice at home, you can bring it to that site and you just come in. They have a system to ensure that it goes through all the filtration and bottle it for you and label it for you to go to the market. Okay.
So that actually helps you to move forward.
It helps you to move forward. Some of these things are very, very critical for the growth of the entrepreneurship ecosystem. And from the angle that we set, we realize that these are the things that young people, apart from these things, we have individual attitudes which also hamper the growth of the businesses. First of all, people don't like teamwork and partnerships.
I see.
Yes, and that does not help businesses to grow faster and to be sustainable.
Would the reason be that people have been bent in the past before by unscrupulous partners, so they just don't want to go near that fire again?
Very true. From engaging most of the people, they will tell you that, no, I've had a bad experience with this person, I have a bad experience. So, but we need to begin to change our attitudes and be able to see how we can synergize.
Okay.
That is how we grow good business. Look at the giants we have across the globe.
Yes.
It's not one person.
No.
Okay, it's not one person. It's a teamwork. You look at Facebook, you look at Google, all of them, just not one person. But at the end of the day, one person may be the figurehead, but it's a teamwork behind the scene that makes organizations grow. Then our culture.
Okay.
You see, our culture makes it that does not tolerate failure. So it's become a challenge for most early stage businesses. Hey, what if I go in and I will fail? But we need to encourage failure. We need to celebrate failure as well.
Okay.
You know, because out of failure, good businesses can be born. Yes.
Yes.
So basically, culture,
so basically, you're talking about risk tolerance.
Yes, risk tolerance.
People don't have a higher threshold for risk tolerance because of what society may say.
Yeah, because of what society. It's really, really killing a number of initiatives from young people.
Because you have been an entrepreneur, you know that most of the time your first business idea will not work. Your second business idea too may not work. Actually, maybe the third or fourth will not work, and the fifth one may work. And that might be a big hit. You know, you get the fifth one hitting it big time, and then everybody gets to know you. And they don't talk about the first 5 failures.
Yes, but for me, we need to share the first 5 failures. I remember very well, my mother one time called me. So when we have sold second-hand clothing to look after you. Now you have done a Bachelor of Commerce. I'm expecting you to work in the bank. And you say you are doing entrepreneurship. When am I going to enjoy?
Wow.
And I told you, when there was this particular bank, UBA, came first, when they launched in the country, she knew one of the branch managers.
Okay.
This woman took my
CV
for you. So I was there. I received a call from UBA that you have been billed for an attitude test and an interview. And I told the manager that, sir, I'm not looking for a job. Look, I have started something that I know it will work.
Yes.
And when my mom heard that, it was a war.
Wow.
But today, she's happy. When she comes to my factory, she stands there and says, hey, why are you?
You've done well, right?
You've done well. You've done well by standing on your feet. Because today we have a bakery that produces bread, almost about 100 bags of flour a month.
Wow, that's a good thing you have.
Yeah, there. And this particular business is less than 2 years.
Amazing.
Because we have and we have the juice company. Now we produce our own bottles in terms of the plastic bottles. But previously we were buying even bottles from off the shelf market. Today we have our own mold, we produce our own bottles, we go through our own juices that we work in. It has taken us over 9 years to get this done. So young people, you must be patient to be able to grow an idea.
Patience. I like that. I like that. Because it's not going to happen overnight.
No. Overnight success is not possible. There's a saying that all those who want to be rich in a day will be hanged in a year. Okay. So you need to take your time and build the business gradually. And this morning I was sharing with the team, the 5, I call it the TC3. Number 1, as young people who are beginning on that journey, take your time. And one stand for time, the T stand for time. Find the time to build the idea. Invest time into it. Research around it. Because if you don't do proper research and you feel that, oh, Kwesi is into IT, he's doing this particular coding and web app, so I'm also going to go into it. You don't know his secret. He has good competency in that area. That's why he's excelling. Exactly. But you go in without all the research and all the knowledge and background. You go in and you are unsuccessful. And that's why many people have failed. They go in really not prepared with the idea very well. Okay. So they don't take time to build the idea. When you don't take the time to build the idea, you get into the marketplace, you fizzle out. Yes. You fizzle out. The next thing is C, which I call competency. Yes. When you take the time to develop the idea, you have to be so good at it that everyone will be looking for your product or service. That's how you get the leverage in the market.
Good point, especially in the Ghanaian context, where there are a lot of lousy products on the market, lousy services. That's a good point. That's a very good point.
And I can tell people that it took us 3 years of research to bake the bread.
You're kidding me.
Yes. Ordinary bread. We studied different samples. We tested different brands. We looked at the markets, what people were looking at. We interviewed people. So by the time we hit the market, can you imagine you are less than 2 years and you're already baking 100 bags? Because the preparation has gone behind the scene. Wow. Okay. Usain Bolt said he uses 4 years to train to run for 9 seconds.
4 years to run. Wow. Can you think?
I mean, for 4 years to run for 9 seconds.
Wow.
Yes. So a lot of preparation must go through if you really want to stick in the marketplace. You need that preparation. And you have to be so good, competent with whatever product or service you want to do. Amazing. The next C is courage or confidence. Look, if you want to survive in the marketplace, you got to be, the Americans, you have to have the guts.
You have to have the
guts, you need to have the courage.
Boldness.
If you don't have the guts, you can't survive in the marketplace. And most young people do not have the guts. They can't knock doors. If you're a business and you are not selling, you are nowhere doing business.
Yes.
You need to have the guts, you need to have the courage. And most people come to my office and I look at their demeanor, I say, you are not ready to be an entrepreneur.
Go and work for somebody.
Yes, you have to go and work for somebody.
Yes.
Because entrepreneurs must have the guts. You must be able to push.
Exactly.
You need to push in the marketplace. Otherwise, you fizzle out. So the confidence, the guts, the courage for you to be able to move is needed. And finally, the last C is cash flow. Cash is king. Cash is king. You need to be able to ensure that, you see, what I didn't put, if you look at the TC3 I gave, I didn't put cash number 1.
No.
You need the time to develop the idea. You need to be good, competency at it. Once you are good at it, you need to be courageous and move into the market. And when you have these 3 things in place, money will follow you. Cash will follow you.
Wow.
Because now you are confident, you can pitch. You can pitch to investors, cash will come in. You can pitch to customers, you can pitch to suppliers.
Yes.
And even suppliers will give you. I remember I went to farmers, I got a food truckload of pineapples without paying 1 cedi.
Wow, that's confidence.
You have to get the confidence and to trust. And when you tell them that, look, in a month's time, I'm paying you, your integrity is at stake. In a month's time, all the farmers receive their money. They build that confidence. That's what it's a social capital you need to build. Integrity.
It is. Wow. This is fascinating. I know that you have another course, so we wouldn't take too much of time, but we want to just probably end on this. This.
We'll surely come again.
Yes, they will have to come again because the network was playing tricks on us initially. Yeah. So one of the things that I wanted to know, based on what are some of the trends that you are seeing in terms of opportunity? Which key areas can you just highlight 1 or 2 areas?
Okay.
People can begin to research, learn more about to see if they can explore opportunities in those areas.
Now, the opportunity abound in this country. Where there are problems, there's more opportunity.
Yes.
And one of the things I'll tell the young people is that all the sectors are booming. Wow. Especially, I can give you about 10 key sectors, but sectors that are underlying with digitization.
Okay.
It can be in the food chain. Now we don't sell food, we sell health. Yes. It can be in the food chain, but the food chain must move with technology. It can be in agriculture, but agriculture must move with technology.
Amazing.
It can be in the fashion industry. Look, I have a couple of friends who don't even know how to build a sewing machine, but they are fashion icons in the country. They are selling the best of clothes, African wear, because they interface with those who sew. They get the products and they are using technology to sell across the globe.
Amazing.
So now, whichever sector you are in, just make sure that technology will be an underlying thing with your business.
That is
if you're going to go the traditional way of running your business, you'll still be in the dark.
Interesting.
So that is what is making the game changer. That is what's making the difference.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. Mr. Franklin, we are honored to have you. These are amazing points that once you apply these kind of thoughts that he has shared, I think it's going to take your business to the next level. And I believe for young people, technology is something that they are used to already. So why not find a way by which you can, interact with your technology with a new idea concept, and then you never know where you will land. All right, thank you so much, and we'll have to do another show
We'll be glad to be on board.
Yes,
we'll be glad to be on board.
So
and thanks to our listeners. We'll surely see you again.
Yes. Thank you, and have a great and awesome next meeting. So we'll talk again.
Thank you.
All right. Bye for now.